watching the replay, fast forward 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna let some people get in here. Hit the like button, please. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna have a good stream. We got a $25 live stream goal. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Anything you can give is greatly appreciated. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. The more people hit the like button, the more people get shown the stream. You dig?
so intently. Like, she stares at me like, I I love you. I can't breathe without you, or I'm plotting your fucking murder. Come here, mommy. Good girl. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I thought that I was in love with this man.
Hit the like button.
But I wasn't.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Dig. And let me know where you tuning in from. I always like to know what family I got with me. You dig? Whether you watching the replay or you listening to this live, even if it's just what's up, RB. Let me know anything in the chat or in the comment section. Let yourself be known. I appreciate you. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me. Baltimore in the house. What up, John? Yeah. We got a special report tonight. This is an MDC special report. Yeah. This is an MDC special report, you dig? Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We about to get started. You know, let me keep the music going just in case. Just in case it's longer than I thought.
I was not faithful in this relationship. A fantasy would be, I guess, a menage, me and you. Why would I want to date such a weak bitch? I was almost raped. I was addicted to him. I'm 48, child-free, and I've never been married. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hot Father with Melyssa. Thank you so much for joining me. Whether you are commuting to or from work, or you've already gotten home and chilling with a glass of wine, or you're settling into your nighttime routine, I want you guys to settle in and chill out with me because we're gonna have a heart-to-heart like we've never had.
Hey, let me know how annoying this is. Hey, let me know how annoying this speed is.
For myself, a glass of wine. This is the good stuff. Now consider this episode a safe space. I really want to have a heart-to-heart about certain lifestyle choices that I've made. We've all...
That ain't too bad. That shouldn't be too bad. So I got a question for y'all real quick before I do my e-begging spiel. What up, good day? If I play this at 1.5 times, how much time does that cut off 48 minutes? I need y'all to answer that for me. Now, or maybe I could do this math in my head. If I played it at 2 times, the 48 minutes would turn to 24 minutes. So that would be 24 minutes off. So if I play it at 1.5 times, does that mean it would take 12 minutes off? I need answers in the in the chat. I'm no mathematician here. So I'm just trying to think. 12 minutes, so that'd be 36 minutes. Yeah. All right, anyway, let me do my e-begging spiel. I'm looking for a live stream sponsor starting at $5. Makes you the king of the stream, sponsor of the stream. The goal for this stream is $25. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. Cash App, Streamlabs, PayPal, all at the top of the chat. I just got I got 3 sales on the merch earlier. So everybody check out the merch. The link for my merch is in the description, and it's a lot more than what YouTube shows up or what YouTube allows me to put at the end of the videos or put on my channel. So definitely check out the merch because I just had somebody buy 2 hoodies and a mug. So yeah, I got a lot of merch up. I got to start promoting that. I'm also going to promote the membership. Join the membership. You get access to 2 videos every time I drop one publicly. But they're not exclusive though. You just get access to the next video 1 or 2 days early. You also get access to all the live streams that I do that you missed that I immediately put behind the membership paywall. It's $9.99 a month. It really helps out. I'm trying to grow the membership. Once we get like 10, 20 people in the membership, I'm going to do a bunch of membership only lives. You dig? Other than that, the mic go mute, mic too low, mic too high, screen go blank, any craziness like that, let me know ASAP in the chat. Now let's get into this ridiculous nonsense by Melyssa Ford. She has a podcast apparently, and she's an old woman drinking wine. And I don't know what it is about old women drinking wine, but they think it makes them look classy, or I don't know if it make them look sophisticated, or they think it make them look sophisticated, but it doesn't. It's just a silly, silly trope. Okay. Anyway, hopefully she getting paid for sipping this wine, so I ain't even gonna knock her. But yeah, she's an old woman now. She's not the Melyssa Ford we once knew. Matter of fact, she's gonna pull up her old magazine covers, and I'm willing to bet anything. She got those motherfuckers blown up in her house somewhere so she can relive her golden years. Well, no, she's in her golden years now. We're working towards them. Relive her glory years. That's a better way to put it. She about to be a golden girl, so I can't say golden years. She's trying to relive her glory years. And I'm willing to bet she has all the covers she did, the King magazine covers, the Maxim covers, or whatever the fuck. She got them blown up big somewhere in her house. You know, and she sip wine and stare at him and cry herself to sleep. Because she will never be that again. And look, the only reason I'm roasting, because she one of those shit talkers. She always bashing men. She always pushing her feminist rhetoric. So yeah, she thought it would last forever like all the attractive women do. And I don't think she's that attractive. Even when she was young, I didn't find her that attractive. I mean, she had a nice body, but I don't know. I wasn't that blown away. But let's pull up some of her covers real quick just to see what she used to be. Melyssa Ford, probably spelling it wrong. Melyssa Ford magazine covers. Let's see what she used to be. Oh, don't show me the old ones. The old lady magazine covers. Okay, I know she was on the front of... Why they gonna show me the old ones? How dare you? Hold on. She was definitely on King magazine, so we'll just pull up that one. King. You son of a... She gonna pull it up anyway. Was this when she was younger? I mean, okay, let me pull it up. I think this was when she was young. I mean, yeah, she was cool. I mean, she was pretty, I guess. She was cool. Anyway, let's get into it.
Why is she staring at me so intently? Like, she stares at me like, I love you, I can't breathe without you, or I'm plotting your fucking murder. Come here, mommy. Good girl. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I thought that I was in love with this man, but I wasn't. I was not faithful in this relationship. A fantasy would be, I guess, a menage. Me and you. Why would I want to date such a weak bitch? I was almost raped. I was addicted to him. I am 48, child-free, and I've never been married.
Yikes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford. Thank you so much for joining me. Whether you are commuting to or from work, or you've already gotten home and you are chilling with a glass of wine, or you're settling into your nighttime routine, I want you guys to just settle in and chill out with me because we're going to have a heart-to-heart.
Heart-to-heart. An old bitch heart-to-heart. 50-year-old woman heart-to-heart. Let's see if I can change the title of this, man. Might get some more views if I change the title. Let's change it to... let's change it to the fall of Melyssa Ford, and then in parentheses, horrible women of 2025. Hold on. Did I spell it right, y'all? Yep. All right, let's do it. Heavy makeup, yeah. She got to keep trying to cover up the oldness with a bunch of makeup. I'm not trying to roast her for being old. You know, we all gonna get old and ugly. But see, I gotta roast these women, man, because they never thought they were gonna get old and ugly, and they've been shallow and superficial since they were. I just started at 15, and they pooped on a lot of people and broke a lot of hearts throughout the process of them thinking they were never gonna get old. So I gotta roast a little bit.
That we've never had before. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to pour myself a glass of wine. This is the good stuff. Now consider this episode a safe space. I really want to have a heart-to-heart about certain lifestyle choices that I've made. We've all seen the most recent political climate as it relates to the election, and it seems like women, we always seem to be the brunt of some kind of attack, and I don't really understand why. But when
You bitches are always painting yourselves to be victims, and it's fucking pathetic. You're not always at the brunt of an attack. A motherfucker off to WAR getting blown to smithereens is at the brunt of an attack. Tired of this ridiculous nonsense. You're the most privileged women on the fucking planet. Since the beginning of mankind, I don't want to hear, we're always a victim. We're always at the brunt of an attack. It's fucking pathetic. You have the most cushy lives of any humans ever. I don't want to hear this nonsense. You're Melyssa Ford. You were a fucking, I ain't gonna say a supermodel, but you were a damn model in America. Like, you didn't have it rough. I mean, I'm sure bad things happen to you. Bad things happen to everybody, but in comparison, nah. I don't want to hear it in comparison to so many other people. Ugh. As you sitting here in your bougie fucking studio, like, I just, their sponsored wine. I got it so rough. I'm so oppressed. I'm always at the brunt of an attack. Meanwhile, men are actually losing their lives. But feel sorry for Melyssa Ford in her fancy $1 million studio. Let me just keep going. If I can keep going on this rant, I'll never get through this.
J.D. Vance said this.
Saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
At first I was offended. And then when I thought about it, I really just had to laugh because never been married, childless cat ladies. Honestly, that sounds like a dream come true to me. I don't know. Like solitude, my own choices, and
solitude sounds like that's, man, look, nobody believes you. You know? And I got a lot of men who are, you know, MGTOW that listen to me or whatever, but none of us wanted to just live a life of solitude. We were forced into it. You know? Because the dog options like you. 99% of humans don't really want to live in solitude. A lot of men just grow to just be okay with it. Nobody believes you. It sounds like a dream to me. Solitude, my own decisions. Yeah, your own dog decisions that we seen play out in front of our eyes, and we see that it didn't work out for the best. You're not going to convince us that, you know, at 16, your dream was to be a single woman who can't keep a man to save his to be a single woman who can't keep a man to save her life. That wasn't your dream at 21. That wasn't your dream at 15. It wasn't your dream at 25, 30, and it's not your dream now. You're not going to fool us into believing it.
animals that love me. Oh my God, somebody, call the cops. That sounds awful. But anyways, I know that I'm not the only one that felt that their life choices were put under attack. So this episode is called I Am 48, I Am Child Free, and I've never been married. And guess what? That's okay.
Keep telling yourself that. You're going to have to keep telling yourself that for the next 30 years. And, you know, it's the reason why she didn't say childless. Well, she said childless in the title, but she just said child-free in the video because she got to make it sound impressive somehow or not as bad. I'm not childless, I'm child-free. I'm free of the burden of a child.
I never made it down the aisle, but I have been engaged in the past. How many engagements? I would say 2.5. Let's start with the 0.5 since that was the first one. I was involved with a man who loved me. He was good looking, he was tall, he was charismatic, gregarious. Everybody loved him. My mom loved him, my sister loved him, my niece loved him, my friends loved him. Everybody loved him. But there was something inside of me that just said, this is not perfect. It's the furthest thing from perfect.
Think about how stupid that statement is. My mom loved him. My aunts loved him. He was great. He was charismatic. He was tall. He was handsome. He was hardworking. He was loving. But it was just something about him that wasn't perfect. Who's perfect? No one on this planet is perfect. Nothing in this life is perfect. Being LeBron James isn't perfect. Being Tom Cruise isn't a perfect life. You know how stupid that is? I found an almost perfect man, but it wasn't perfect. So I just, wasn't sitting right with me. It proves women aren't going to be happy no matter what. Even when they get this tall, handsome, successful, yada yada man, they're not going to be happy with it. And like I say, when a woman young and attractive, she would rather choose being a highly desired prostitute than to sit down with a decent man and build a decent life. Because that's boring. She would rather have the exciting life of the hottest prostitute in the city than be the wife, you know, of a stand-up respectable dude. Even if that stand-up respectable dude is good in bed, tall, handsome, rich, it don't matter. They don't want to waste their young, hot years being a decent human. Almost none of them do. If a woman is attractive, you can forget about her settling down with a man. I don't care if he is actually perfect. She wants to run the streets and get the most out of her being young and hot. Get the most fun out of her being young and hot. Women think being young, like the point of being young and hot is having the most fun, getting tricked on the most. But in reality, the point of being young and hot is to lock down the highest value man you can lock down and start a family with him. That's really the point of it. You need to cash out in your hot years because, look, like I always say.
My nigga.
Let's read that. Shout out to John. He's the live stream sponsor as of right now. Appreciate you, John. He says, I hate when celebrities that I admire decide to open their mouths. I mean, listen. She's not dumb as the average thought. I mean, she's still a thought, but she's not dumb. I don't get that from her. She seems educated. She seems articulate. But other than that, I don't know, man. I don't know why you look up to her. Or why you used to look up to her. But yeah. What up, Don't Believe? But like I said, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. But anyway. Yeah, women, they don't want to settle down, man. When they're young and hot, they don't. They want to party. They want to have their fun. They want to sow their wild oats. But let's do this for John. Appreciate you. Everybody shout out John in the chat. Because he don't just say he support RB Sensei. He proves it and he put his money where his mouth is. We need $20 more to meet our goal. It guarantees a live stream tomorrow. And it guarantees that I stay on later tonight. Shout out John.
Thank you for being there, man. Charles,
I run shit. You just live here.
More power to him.
You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Right on, brother. I hear you. Man, I hear you.
My man.
City boy, city boy.
My nigga.
All right, let's get back into it because I got a lot of footage to go over. Let's go.
He would say things like, nobody's ever going to love you the way that I love you. And I believed him. I wrestled with this internal sense of guilt. I wrestled with the guilt of honestly wanting to be free, honestly wanting to live my life,
Yep.
and to date, and to experience other men and to experience other things and other places. I just wanted to live my life. I had moved to New York from Toronto, a totally different country, with $25, 2 suitcases, and a one-way ticket. I didn't have permission from my country to leave. I didn't have permission from this country to be here, and I was making things happen for myself at a very, very rapid pace. And so to find myself inside of a relationship that felt so stifling at this very young age, and not having the vocabulary to speak up for myself and articulate that somebody who loves you would not say those things to you. They wouldn't say that nobody will ever love you the way that I love you.
I don't see that as a negative comment. If anything, it sounds romantic. Baby, I love you so much, nobody can love you the way I love you. Like, ain't that what they say in the movies and in the love songs? But she found a way to flip it as into being something that's like abusive or something. As usual, they always find a way to villainize us, man, to vilify us. They always find a way. But yeah, look, go be free. I mean, women, I said this before, women see being a respectable wife and mother as slavery. They see it as being in chains. I mean, I guess I understand it. It is confining to some degree. They see being a respectable wife and mother as a burden. They really do, especially if they're young and hot. They're like, hell with that. About to go have some fun and do what I do. Do my thing. But what women don't understand is once you throw it away to go live other lifestyles, a lot of times you threw it away for life. It's over now. You made your choice. Women don't have the luxury to go do them in their 20s. Go build a career, go have fun, sow their wild oats. They don't have that luxury that men do. Once women make that decision early, it's usually over for them. They will never be a healthy, happy wife in a lifelong relationship. It's over. That was the most important decision that she ever made when she left this guy. I mean, spoiler alert, she left this guy. She's kind of been prepping us for what's coming, but that was the worst decision she ever made, and that was the most important decision she ever made.
Because that indicates that there's a part of me that's broken or there's a part of me that's unlovable. But I didn't know how to articulate this. So I stayed in this relationship that I was wildly unhappy in for approximately 3.5 years, close to 4.
So if you're wildly unhappy with a man who you described in the beginning as a damn near perfect man that everybody loved and he was great, if you're unhappy with that, you can't be happy with a man. If you can't be happy with the perfect man, where do you go from there as far as being with a man? At that moment, you should have just decided, I don't ever want to be with one man. I just want to do my thing, have flings here and there. Like, you should have just made your mind up then. Relationships aren't for you. If the perfect man ain't good enough and you're wildly unhappy with the perfect man, maybe you les, or maybe you should just stay single for life.
Close to 4. And I have to admit, I was not faithful in this relationship. Nothing that I'm proud of, but I just chalk that up to I was really, really young and I was hood famous. You know, I was on the covers of magazines on your local newsstand. So everybody recognized me, and that was another source of pressure that I felt being inside of this relationship rather than being free to explore all of my options. And so one day I was going through some drawers, you know, folding laundry, placing clothes, you know, in the drawers and such, and I found it. I found a box, and when I saw it, I said, please, God, don't let this be what I think it is. And I opened the box, and there it was. It was a ring, and the only thing that I could think was that it was an engagement ring. It sure as hell was not a promise ring. We were way beyond that. We were not in high school. I was not wearing this boy's varsity jacket. This was an engagement ring.
What type of guys do you think she cheated on Mr. Perfect with? Rich dudes, street dudes, etc., etc. We heard this story time and time again. And at least she admitted she's a piece of shit. I cheated. Yeah, we know. You were a garbage human being. And that didn't stop there. I'm positive it didn't. But she brushed that off real quick. Yeah, I cheated, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I was young. I was hood famous. Oh, well. Did you sense the remorse? Did you sense the regret? I didn't.
And if I knew this man the way that I knew him, that proposal was going to be very public. And that terrified me. I didn't want to have to say no in front of our friends and family and publicly humiliate him. He did not deserve that, but I also could not see myself saying yes in front of everybody just to save face and then later on have to break it to him like that this is not something that I was going to be able to go forward with. So what I did instead was I packed up all my belongings while he was out of town and put them in storage and flew back to Canada.
Another piece of shit move. You know, these women should really keep these stories to themselves. Maybe there was a guy watching that would have wiped her up. I mean, I'm glad she is telling on herself so we can save a man. So she saved a decent man his time and, you know, turmoil and whatever. But they always telling themselves. That was a real low-life move. And this wasn't when she was 16, 17, 18. She can't blame it. Oh, I was young. She can't blame it on that. I believe she was in her mid-20s when she did this scumbag shit. Wow. This is the thanks you get for being a good guy. But, you know, this is why I always say don't chase pretty. 8, 9s, and 10s are not relationship material for this exact reason right here. They feel like no matter how great you are, they feel like they're missing out on something. Even if you literally are a 10 out of 10 in looks and every other area. You could literally be the perfect man. A young hot bitch, she feel like she's missing out on something by just staying with you.
And then I had the conversation about us breaking up over the phone. I know what you're probably thinking as well. Yo, Melyssa, that's fucked up.
Yep.
I know. It took years for me to make peace with this decision. I have self-flagellated over this decision. I have beaten myself up every way to Sunday that you possibly...
See? You see how they flip it back to them being the victims? Like, I know you guys are saying this is fucked up, but I beat myself up about it countless nights. I felt really bad about it. I went into a bout of depression for it. So now she's the victim again. Now you go back to feeling sorry for her. I mean, it won't work on us. But you see that move she did? Women always do that. Well, if it was in the midst of an actual argument with her or something, she would start crying. Like if you caught her cheating, she would start crying. I didn't want to do it. How could you just bust in like this? I have no privacy. I know I was cheating, but you shouldn't have bust in. And she'll make herself the victim. I'm so embarrassed right now. I can't believe how embarrassed I am. This just isn't right. You're like, wait, it ain't right. I know what you did ain't right, but you shouldn't have bust in. They'll always find a way to make themselves the victim, even when they do things that are just straight diabolical.
And I tried to reconcile with him at one point, which was a big mistake.
It probably was a big mistake because he told you to go fuck off and kick rocks, and you got embarrassed, got your heart broke, because he thought he would always be waiting in the wings. Ain't that a bitch? That's how they play the suckers. When she was ran through and all the rappers came on her and all that and kicked her to the curb, she thought she can go back to the Mr. Good Guy. He told her to go fuck herself. That's why she said it was a big mistake. She got her ego hurt.
That is the 0.5.
I had an ugly duckling phase. Just don't tell anybody. I destroyed all the pictures, so there's no proof. Before I became a video model and a model, and I was like known as the brain amongst all my friends. You know, so I was studying forensic psychology with a minor in English literature in university. So the fact that I started to become known more for my looks than my brain is kind of ironic. The attention just...
Well, no, it's not ironic. It's typical. I don't care how intelligent a woman is, she would rather be a sex object. She would rather get validation for being a sex object than being the brains of her social group. Women don't give a damn about being acknowledged for that. Look, I promise you, I don't care how brilliant of a theoretical physicist a woman is. If she could pick being a famous theoretical physicist or being a hottie Kim Kardashian sex symbol that's famous for just being super hot, she would pick the latter. I promise. She would throw that theoretical physicist shit out the window in a heartbeat if she could be a famous bitch with a big ass and big tits and a pretty face that everybody's lusting after and all the women wish they could be. Don't ever forget that. Because if she was so noble and she cared more about being the brains and being intelligent, she would have went that route and would have threw away being the hot sex symbol on the front of magazines. But you see which one she picked. And the whole ugly duckling thing, they're dangerous. If a woman was an ugly duckling all her life and now she's being seen as a hot bitch, oh, she's throwing away all her old friends. She ain't sitting at the old table no more. She gonna act like she don't know you no more when she start getting attention. Yeah, she gonna be a whole different person. Women just can't handle it, man. They can't handle attention and validation. It ruins them.
Snowballed, and I started to see that I was able to, make a business out of it. If it didn't make money, it didn't make sense.
Society places an enormous amount of pressure on us to check certain boxes. The box of go to school and excel. You've got to pursue a career based on what you went to school for. And you've got to excel and become successful. And you have to have your 3-year, 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, 20-year plan. All while you're in your 20s. Get married.
Man, look, society isn't pressuring women to do that. Women could do whatever they want to do, and they do what they want to do. You know what I mean? She did what she wanted to do, but they can't take accountability. They'll find every way in the world to not take accountability for their actions. If they can't blame a man, they'll blame society as a whole. If we know anything, we know young hot bitches do what they feel like doing, not what society tells them to do.
Get the white picket fence and have 2.3 kids. Never figured out the point situation when it came to the statistics, because what's a third of a kid? But I digress on that. The problem with the boxes is that we never check in with ourselves. It is never, ever, ever our first thought as to, well, what is it that I actually want?
Well, when you ran out on your perfect boyfriend and go move to a different fucking country and go be a video vixen, that you didn't check in with yourself? Who made you do that? Society didn't tell you to do that. Like, just the more they talk, the more ridiculous they sound. Based on what you said earlier, it sounded like you did check in with yourself and you followed your heart.
Or first thoughts as to, well, what is it that I actually want? I am now, welcoming into my circle a lot of women who checked all those boxes. And for all intents and purposes, a lot of the stuff really actually did not work out. Yes, they ended up with the children, but they ended up in sometimes a loveless, sometimes an abusive, and sometimes a marriage of convenience.
What a coincidence that you would use the bad examples. You don't think she knows any happily married people? Of course she do. But she's not going to use those examples because those would make her seem like the pathetic woman she is. She got to give the bad faith examples. Of course. This is textbook right here. So basically what you're saying is women are going to be miserable no matter what. That's basically what you're saying. And that's what I say all the time. Whether they settle down young or don't settle down young, they're going to be miserable no matter what. They always think the grass is greener on the other side. If they settle down early, oh, I missed my party years. If they party and now they can't find a man, I can't find a man and now I'm miserable and I can't have kids. They're going to be unhappy no matter what. It's sick. Look at her face. Does this look like a happy woman, despite what she's saying? Does this look like a joy-filled, happy woman? Look at that face right there. Don't feel sorry for her, though. Because she's put this look on the faces of 1,000 decent men.
Sometimes they didn't even get the marriage. They just got the kids. And they inherited a whole lot of struggle and strife. And it's not to say that their choices are better or worse than the choices that I made. These are just choices. But for us women, I feel like our choices oftentimes have never really, really belonged to us. And when we have tried to exert our sense of independence, we are shamed for it.
Yes, there's pros and cons to everything. Get over it. But are you going to try to spin this narrative like you didn't do what you wanted to do this past 30 years? Like, are you really... We don't believe you, man. You did what you wanted to do. Now live with it. You made your bed, now lay in it. Yes, people are going to hate on you and shame you no matter what. Yes, everybody go through that. But you did what you wanted to do.
At this point, let me go on to the second engagement. So I'm 28 years old, and I have left the previous relationship, the 0.5, and I have met this man who, the minute I saw him, I knew I was going to be with him. He just was it. I don't know how to describe it. And the second I heard his voice, I said, I'm going to marry this man. I don't know what it was. Like, he had this Louisiana drawl. It's my favorite Southern accent. He was huge, like 6'1", 246 pounds of hulking muscle. He had skin the color of like red clay. He had this thick neck, big round head. He had this crooked tooth that drove me wild. His flaws were like manna from heaven for me. And I loved his dirty draws, and I could just sleep in his armpit right after he played a game of like pickup basketball. That is,
Of course, Alpha Tyrone, Giga Tyrone. Of course, when women are left to their own devices and she got some looks and whatever, they're gonna chase the hottest, edgiest, most charismatic bad boy, and it's never gonna work out with that guy. That wasn't love at first sight. That was lust at first sight. Women think with their pussy more than men think with their dick. But society ain't gonna tell you that. The media ain't gonna tell you that because they gotta sell them Maybelline at the commercial break. So why the fuck would they tell them that? I mean, yeah, man. But that wasn't love. That was definitely lust at first sight. And this is what women do. They're gonna chase the sexiest men. And the sexiest men are the least likely to make a wholesome wife out of you. But then again, that's not who you are. You're not a wholesome wife. We heard what you just did to the last perfect man. So you're not relationship material, regardless. So it don't matter what use you're going to tell us about from this guy. If he didn't use you, you would have did him like you did the first guy. And I bet she stayed with this guy longer than she stayed with the first guy. They always stay with the abusive guy longer. What a coinky dink. That means that they like use more than they like good treatment.
how much I loved this man. And our courtship was a whirlwind. He wined and dined me. He bought me lovely, lovely gifts. I'd wake up to those baby blue Tiffany boxes just laid on the pillow right next to me. We could go to my favorite store, and as long as I put on a little fashion show for him, everything I wanted I could get. But when I say that the gifts really mattered nothing to me, it was this man. He was the gift to me.
Of course, how convenient. What a coincidence that you just happen to be with a guy who could buy you Tiffany anklets and bracelets and shit. But I didn't care about the money. They always say they don't care about the money when they're with a dude with money. They never talk about how they don't care about the money when they with a broke dude that they love so much. It's a weird coincidence.
That's just a fact. And we were 6 months into our relationship when the first sign of trouble appeared. I was in Denver for All-Star Weekend, and I was working for BET at the time, so I had a lot of responsibilities. I had to make a lot of appearances, I had to interview a lot of people, and a lot of those people were athletes. And he was back home. And I did not know that he was jealous. It didn't even cross my mind. And so when I got home after an event and I was perturbed by, an interaction with a strange man at a party that I had been at, he'd said something vile to me and it hurt my feelings. And all I wanted was to be comforted. And so I went back to my hotel room and I called my boyfriend and I just asked him to just tell me that he thought that I was beautiful and that he loved me. And he didn't do that. He just pressured me to tell him what happened.
Well, yeah, I got a feeling you're not going to tell us the truth about this story. A strange man said something that hurt your feelings. Look, it wasn't just a strange man. Because if some random dude that she didn't give a fuck about just called her a bitch or something, trust me, she don't care. She been ignoring 90% of men for a long time. If some loser said some, negative comment, it wouldn't have fazed her one bit. It was probably one of the celebrities she was fucking. Like this story, look, we're not going to get the real story about this. We're only going to get some version of it that make the man seem like a monster. His woman is at All-Star Weekend fraternizing with ball players and rappers and entertainers. I didn't know he would be jealous. They want these tall, handsome alpha men who are rich to not be territorial and possessive. Of course they're going to be that. Are you fucking kidding me? Especially that archetype of guy.
Why are you asking me to do this? And so I told him what happened. Why are you asking me to do this? And so I told him what happened, and he responded by saying, why would I want to date such a weak bitch that would be that offended by what some strange guy has to say to her? There's just no way that he just said that to me. I'm sorry, what? And he said, you heard me. And I said, I'm really confused right now. And he was like, I'm sure you are. I felt like I was talking to a stranger. There's no way that this was the person that I had just spent the last 6 months with, completely absorbed with, you know, and in the throes of like love and ecstasy with. And I said, you know, I'm glad that I'm finding out who you really actually are.
I got something for bro, because he knew that story was bullshit. He knew something else was up. She basically came to him after she got played by a dude that just fucked and kicked her to the curb. and he peeped it. So I got this for him, for saying what he said.
Thank you for being there, man. Charles.
I run shit. You just live here.
More power to him.
You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Right on, brother. I hear you. Man, I hear you.
My man.
City boy, city boy.
My nigga.
Shout out to bro.
You know, I'm glad that I'm finding out who you really actually are now rather than later. He said, yeah, I'm sure you are. Click. And hung up the phone on me.
Gangster.
I cried myself to sleep that night. And the next...
Double whammy. She got fucked and disregarded by the celebrity, and then she came home to try to feel better by calling her simp boyfriend to give her words of affirmation, and he clicked on the bitch and dogged her out. That was a rough night. Oh well. Consequences of being a whore. Everybody hit the like button. Let's get the donations up. I only need $20 more to meet our goal. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. Let's get it. It guarantees a live stream tomorrow, and it guarantees that I stay on late tonight. Let's get it.
Next day, I had to cover a ladies' luncheon, the wives of the NBA. And so I had to be perfect and pretty, and I had to act like the man of my dreams had not just told me to basically go F myself. And so while I was getting ready, a large bouquet of flowers was delivered. My makeup artist said, Mel, you should read the card. And it said, you are beautiful to me and I love you. And I'm sorry. And then his name. I burst into tears. It just flew out of my face. So
Okay, I take back that last meme I played, and now I need to play a different type of meme. Hey, we got a new live stream sponsor, a new king of the stream. Can y'all guess who it is? Sent through the Big Ten. Hey, he's better than James Dean, James Brown, James Earl Jones, James Franco, James Cameron, LeBron James, Kevin James, James McAvoy, Jesse James, James Madison, James Harden, James Woods, James Avery, Rick James, James Bond, James Baldwin, last but not least, King James. Everybody shout out James in the chat. King of the stream and the king of all the streams, because he's the most active contributor. He's donated the most of anybody to this channel. Everybody shout out James.
Thank you for being there, man. Charles.
I run shit. You just live here.
More power to him.
You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Right on, brother. I hear you. Man, I hear you.
My man.
City boy, city boy.
My nigga.
All right, let's get back into it. So let's talk about the dude. He cussed her out because he was suspicious about whatever bullshit story she gave him. He was in his feelings. and he reacted in his feelings. But he didn't mean what he said. As a man, you got to stand on what the fuck you do, and you got to stand on what the fuck you say, especially with women. So she lost a certain amount of respect for him that she will never gain back after he said what he said, did what he did, and then came back with some flowers apologizing. You know, she lost a certain amount of respect for him that can't be gained back.
And it said, "You're beautiful to me and I love you. And I'm sorry." And then his name. I burst into tears. It just flew out of my face. So basically, my whole beat face just melted. And I called him and I said, "I received your flowers." And he said, "I am so sorry." And I told him, "I'm going to forgive you because I love you. But you can't ever speak to me like that ever again." He's like, "I promise I won't." So whenever people wonder, how do people end up in abusive relationships and why do you stay? The reasons are aplenty, but I will start by saying that that is not the way that it begins. It begins with love bombing. It begins with flowers, candy, gifts, and the wonderful sex, and the cuddles and the pillow talk. And this is how it begins. And
The wonderful sex means more than the flowers and the gifts. They like flowers and gifts and you being a simp when you're extremely handsome and you're extremely good in bed and you're extremely charismatic. Like flowers and gifts and love bombing, it don't work with 90% of men. Probably 95% of men. But it works for the top 5%ers. Because the top 5%ers can do no wrong. But if you act like a super simp and you're the bottom 95%, it's going to get you played and disregarded. Only top 5%ers can get away with being a simp and a woman still being into him.
can last for a lengthy amount of time before that person really shows up. The true version of themselves shows up. And by that point, you start to bargain with yourself. And they start to apologize. And their apologies are usually very, very sincere. Because at the end of the day, I truly believe that they believe their apologies are real. They just have an illness inside of them. And I would also venture to say that the first signs of abuse are usually not physical. And by the time it gets to physicality, you start to reason that you were an active participant in it.
You were an active participant in it. You're a toxic bitch. And you let us know you're a toxic bitch by the first story. So come on, lady. Did you forget what you told us already? The verbal use is what kept you around. It kept you on your toes. It's the exciting toxicity that women love. If he was just a nice pushover that just accepted all your BS and never challenged you on anything, you would have been out of there. Quick. You're not tricking us, man.
You start to reason with yourself that you started the fight by angering him or saying something that was out of pocket. Or you reason with yourself that you are no shrinking violet. So it's not like you got hit and cowered in a corner. You fought back. These are the things that you reason and bargain with yourself that allow you to stay in this level of toxic relationship.
They love it. Nothing turns them on more than a toxic man. A tall, handsome, toxic man with a nice body, and he got money too. Oh, man, they love it. They don't need that hotline at the bottom of the screen. They know how to get out of those relationships. The same way they know how to avoid the nice guy, they know how to get out of those toxic relationships if they want to. They don't want to. Trust me, they don't need that number.
And so, as much as I would love to say that that was the last time that he spoke to me in that way, and that was the last time that I received it, that would not be the truth. We were together for another year and a half, and I accepted his marriage proposal. And a lot of you would probably be asking, why would you do that? Why would you accept the marriage proposal of this man?
Because you're a dumbass bitch. I didn't ask that. When you said that part of the story, I wasn't baffled. I wasn't confused. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't wondering. You're a dumbass bitch, like most women are. That's why he did it.
That was so abusive towards you and unfaithful towards you and really bad at it. Like, I found out everything all the time, and I don't
Payback. It's something called payback.
really have an excuse for it other than I was addicted to him. I was working at BET at the time when we were dating, And more than once, observations were made about bruises on my body and how skinny I was getting, obviously from the stress. And people had voiced concern for me, but I just shooed them away. We tussle. It's fine. No problem. But there really was a reason for concern. I stayed through it all and accepted the marriage proposal. The final straw for me was his reaction to finding out that my mom was ill. I had gotten a phone call while I was out with him and his family, and he was acting up as per usual. And I got a phone call from my aunt telling me that my mom had been rushed to the hospital. I was in Texas. So in order for me to rush home to see my mom, I would have to leave Texas, go home to New York, pick up my passport, and then go to Canada. And when I told him what was going on, obviously I was looking for empathy and sympathy and compassion, and that was not what I got. It was on this day that I finally could see the forest for the trees. If I stayed in this relationship, in 10 years, I would have that white picket fence, and I would have the 2 kids, and I would be an abused woman, hiding her bruises and her broken bones and her scars from her family and her friends and society at large, because I was a forward-facing media personality / model. My mom's sickness was, strangely enough, a blessing in disguise, and that relationship came to an end, and that was the first full engagement, so 1.5. So that's where we are right now.
Any advice for any beautiful women out there that are trying to make it? Any advice you have to give? Because I know it's a hard struggle. Understand that there's no shortcuts and there's a lot of sacrifices involved in this game that nobody will ever tell you. That you're asking for a lot, but you want to become, as visible as, some people on this carpet ever for that. Exactly, the right way. Just be careful. Be careful what you wish for.
When I was 20 years old, I had this boyfriend. His name was Tony Smith. I could say his name because, you could throw a rock and hit a Tony Smith. It may as well be like John Doe. He was from Greensboro, North Carolina. And he had come up to Toronto to play for the Toronto Argos, which is a football team in the Canadian Football League. And he had played in the National Football League, the NFL, for many years. And a lot of NFL players, when they're not ready to hang up their cleats, and not ready to kind of be put out to pasture, they'll come to the CFL. And so I met Tony at this festival called Caravana in Toronto. He was so beautiful. My God, instant attraction, obviously. And we started dating.
That's the prerequisite, or is that the word I'm looking for? That's the bare minimum. You got to be drop dead gorgeous. That's, if a woman is attractive, that's usually going to be her bare minimum. You got to be a certain height, 6 feet, and you got to look like a fucking model to her. AKA the chemistry and the vibe is you're drop dead gorgeous as a guy. That's what they mean by chemistry and vibe. She wants to jump your bones right now.
We genuinely liked each other. We liked each other to the point where we could say really, really offhand things to each other. For example, he asked me what my fantasy was. And I got this look on my face. And I said, well, a fantasy would be, I guess, a menage with me and you and somebody else. And he was like, another woman? I said, no, with another guy. And he was like, really? He was like, do you have an idea as to who this guy is? I said, yeah. He's like, really? You have to tell me. I said, it's your best friend. And I expected.
What kind of shit is that? Really think about it, man. How would you feel if your girl said, hey, I want to have a threesome with your bestie? This woman is a complete degenerate in low life. And he should have ended the relationship there. Or, hey, no comment.
Him to maybe slap me, I don't know what. But he threw his head back and roared with laughter. And I was like, wow, that was not the response I was expecting. And he said, do you want me to make that happen? I was like, oh my God, that is so sweet. No, absolutely not. It is just a fantasy. It is meant to stay there. But just the fact that you were open to it, and don't make me feel shame for feeling this way. He was like, why would I make you feel that way? And Tony, I don't know. Maybe he was just an anomaly. But wherever we would go, no matter how scantily I was dressed, he would let me move around the party as I felt the need to and interact with anybody. And he would just sit there and just watch me with a smile. At one point, somebody stood next to him and asked him, like, aren't you afraid to let her walk around like that? And he was like, absolutely not. She's going home with me. I don't have anything to be worried about.
It was just a chick he was fucking. It wasn't that serious. If a man loves a woman and he's really into her and sees her as like future wife material or something, he's not saying, Oh, you want me to make a threesome happen with my bestie? No. And he's not letting her walk around a celebrity party and mingle with other rich celebrity handsome guys. He didn't give a fuck about her. He was like, hey, I'm fucking Melyssa Ford tonight. I don't care. I ain't gonna marry the hoe. Oh, wow.
And you want to know something? He was absolutely right. His level of confidence and knowing that I had eyes for nobody but him was what made him so much more sexy to me, so much more attractive, and made me like and love him so much more. I wish that I could say that the vast majority of my relationships went like this, but they didn't. They didn't. I'm going to take a sip of wine. I was raised as an only child. My father was a Rolling Stone, and I am the youngest of 11. But I am my mother's only child, and I was raised in a two-parent household, just me on my own. I used to wish constantly for a brother and a sister or a twin. It was around 6 when I figured out the twin thing was not going to happen. But I really wanted a brother or a sister because I was lonely. And I was smack in the middle of a very tumultuous marriage. Some of my earliest memories as a child are of my parents arguing and physically fighting each other. At one point, I was 5, and I got in the middle of my parents physically fighting each other. My mom was holding a glass pitcher above her head and was prepared to smash it on my dad's head. And I want to say that this was in defense of herself. This was her protecting herself. So, needless to say, my first introduction to marriage and how men and women, the expectation of how they interact with each other on a romantic level was very, 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 very traumatizing. And they didn't do anything to try to correct it. They didn't sit me down and explain things to me or apologize to me. I think that that's something that parents really miss the mark on a lot of the time, is that you are not perfect. You are human. And to be a human being is to err. And sometimes you do things to unintentionally harm your children or traumatize them, and they deserve an explanation and they deserve an apology. When my parents were not arguing with each other, they were staying as far away from each other as possible. And what that meant was I was left home alone a lot. So one of the main reasons why my parents never said no to me when I wanted another animal. I had nothing but cats and dogs and birds and fish all over.
Let me jump in real quick. Like, all this, look, I'm not saying people's childhood trauma don't affect how they are as adults, but sometimes I get tired of these women blaming all their bullshit on, I had a rough upbringing. Because there's plenty of women who had a rough upbringing who still did the right thing. I don't know. I'm not giving you this bail, Melyssa. I'm not. Sorry, for what happened. Sorry you had a rough upbringing. But that ain't why you made all the stupid decisions you made.
Over the house. I feel like animals saved me. It sounds strange. Like I'm like, Mowgli or something from the, what's that book called? The Jungle Book? Yeah, I'm Mowgli from the Jungle Book. But yeah, that was my reality. My parents would come home late at night. The animals were the ones that took care of me. Thankfully, I didn't burn down the house. But this left an imprint on my brain as to the way that men and women interact with each other. And it left me with a very serious internalized distrust of men. I think that this is where I developed the disconnect of wanting to create progeny. I just did not feel that urge like other women have to have children. And it is definitely intertwined with what I witnessed from a very early age as to my parents and their dysfunction. I ended up getting an IUD implanted in my uterus. And when I say that sucker was Fort Knox, nothing was getting through that mofo. And it stayed in so long that it ultimately made the decision for me. But yet again, it's not like I felt any source of pressure. Which leads me to the last engagement when I was approximately 36, 37 years old. And I'll be honest, I thought that I was in love with this man, but I wasn't. What I was traumatized from an experience that had happened to me on a cruise ship where I was almost raped. And I could not be in the room alone with my own shadow. I was so traumatized by what had happened to me that when this man appeared, he was offering safety and security. He was physically huge. But he also came with a very secure lifestyle and a lot of security. And so I felt safe. And that's the only thing I was looking for. I was looking for safety. And so I lied to myself. And it was very easy to do that, to just dive in head first, forget the rocks below. And during the process of this,
Almost graped. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But who knows what that could mean. That could mean a little bit of everything. You know, I don't believe women when they say stuff like that just because they said it. And she didn't even say she was great. She said she was almost great. So a dude could have been kissing on her and she said no and left, and that could be her definition of almost great. Because a dude tried it and she turned him down and then left. So I don't know. You never know.
relationship, I started to realize that I was losing myself completely and totally. Friends had started to notice, you know, Mel, you're paying a lot of attention to his career. What are you doing about yours? And I didn't want to hear it. I actually did not want to even hear my own name. I didn't know what it meant to be Melyssa Ford anymore. I had no clue. The sound of my own name gave me goosebumps, and not in the best.
Well, yeah, but your looks were fading. You were 36. I mean, yeah. You were officially old in that industry now. You weren't the young hot bitch anymore on the front of King magazine. That's why she lost her identity. Her identity was being that young hot bitch. And that had slipped away at that point. I mean, she was still probably attractive, but she wasn't what she used to be. And that's why she had an identity crisis. Let's just be very clear. It has nothing to do with almost being raped, which who knows if that was like a real thing.
Best way. I was having a massive identity crisis. And so when he proposed, he didn't even get the full words out before I said yes. Because I was running from myself. I was running from my truth. I was running from the healing journey that was on the horizon. I was running. And I was trying to put the blinders on. But there was always that like internal sense of that steel core of resilience and tenacity inside of me that said, Melyssa, this is not your truth. This is not your path. This is not it. And as scary as it was to keep trying to align myself with my internal compass, obviously, you know, you make all these decisions, but it's got to bring you back pointing due north, which leads me to where I am now, 48, child-free, and never been married. And honestly, with zero regrets.
Did you ever decide to freeze your eggs?
Yeah, the freezing eggs conversation came up around mid-30s.
Why would you freeze your eggs? She just said I had no desire to have kids. Did I miss something? Let's continue.
Amongst myself and my girlfriends. It became something that just was a very trendy conversation to have. But if you know anything about freezing eggs, first of all, it's extraordinarily cost prohibitive. I was in the entertainment industry, and this is the way the entertainment industry goes. Feast, famine, feast, famine, feast, famine. Sometimes you're living high on the hog, and other times you are eating Ritz crackers and eating out of, like, you know, cans of tuna.
Well, that's why you're supposed to plan financially when you're in that industry. You saw it was feast, famine, so what were you doing to offset it? And that's why you needed a consistent man in your life. Yeah, if a woman got to freeze her eggs, she's the most pathetic woman on the planet, and she probably shouldn't have kids. By the time a woman has to freeze her eggs because she's been making a horrible decision and can't keep a man to save her life, she shouldn't have children, flat out.
A lot of times it's freelance work. You don't know when your next paycheck is going to come, and sometimes you will go a whole year without a job, and you are fighting to make ends meet and stretching $10,000 to last over the course of 6 months to a year. So freezing your eggs was a luxury. And now what we know about egg freezing is that it's not a guarantee that any one of them is going to be viable, or that even when they're implanted in your uterus, that they're going to, you know, that it's going to take. So it really is a crapshoot. And it's also an extraordinarily painful process. When I said that God is not a woman, I mean it, because there's no way that a woman would put us through everything that we have to go through just to manifest our so-called fairy tales. You know,
life is not a fucking fairy tale. And you had every opportunity to have a normal life and have kids the normal way and all that. So I don't want to hear no complaint. Are you serious? You just told us the whole journey, and it was just bad decision after bad decision after bad decision after cheating, after being a whole threesomes and all that. Like, now you want to cry about how hard the egg freezing process is? Wow.
or a fairy tale ending. The choices that I ended up not making, pursuit of marriage and kids and this and that sort of thing, it wouldn't have cost me anything by way of, disapproval of family. My mother was raised Catholic. She was a day girl in a convent. Her parents were from the Eastern European bloc. She lived in Europe until she was 15 years old when her family immigrated to Canada, and her mother died shortly after they had immigrated. My mother was 15, almost 16 years old. And my mother ended up meeting my godmother in the same high school, in the same grade as I met my best friend, but 30 years apart, which is so cute and so funny. And when they met, they're both from the old country, and they've both been raised Catholic. They both said to each other, let's make a pact. If we ever have female children, we're not going to raise them Catholic. There's something about Catholicism that makes women feel like they're second-class citizens, like they are there for that marriage is a sacrament, and it's a holy sacrament, and you are there to obey your husband without any, consideration as to what you may need, what you may feel, what you may want.
Yes, your destiny is to be second place. Your destiny is to serve a man. Period. To nurture and serve your man and your family and your children and raise them up. Be a decent woman to your man and raise your kids up to be good people. Yes, that's the most honorable thing you could do as a woman. But you wouldn't know anything about honor, would you? Because you work for the dark one. You're Satan adjacent. She might not be a demon, but she's Satan adjacent. Coin that. Some men ask, are women demonic? Yeah, most of them. And the 20% that aren't, they're Satan adjacent. It's up to the man to keep her dark ways in check. Keep her on the righteous path. When women are left to their own devices, they always ride with the dark one. They ever forget that?
And they had seen their mothers and their grandmothers and their aunts live lives that did not belong to them, and they decided that was not the lives that they were going to give their female children. So my mother had me, and my godmother Renata had a daughter named Laura. And
okay, it's okay. They don't want their daughters to grow up and be decent women. There's only one path for her to be a train wreck woman. Those are the two paths for a woman: either serve a man and cultivate a family, or be a fucking train wreck. Now, some women are successful train wrecks. They got money and status, but they're still a fucking train wreck. If you know them personally, you would know what I'm talking about. Be a decent, honorable woman to a man in the family, or be a train wreck are the two options that women have. Those are the two lanes that most women are going to fall in. There's always exceptions, but most women are going to fall in one of those two categories. And honestly, even the ones that pick the family route end up train wrecks, but they're more respectable train wrecks because at least they got a family. At least they kept a husband around and raised the family up. So they will always get way more respect. They're the more respected train wreck.
We were not raised religious at all. To the point where I
might get a shirt that say I'm trying to think. I need a Satan adjacent shirt. Well, people might not want to buy that, but I'm trying to think, what would the shirt say? If a woman's not demonic, she's at least Satan adjacent. That might be a shirt, y'all. If she's not demonic, she's at least Satan adjacent. Or should it be, most women are either demonic or Satan adjacent? Which one are you, ladies? Or should it say, okay, most women are demonic or Satan adjacent. Which one are you? Would y'all buy that one? Check out the merch. I got a bunch of merch. Check out the links in the description. And join the membership, y'all. I'm trying to get the membership numbers up. $10 a month. It's worth it. The more members I get, the more perks I'll add for exclusive members. Let's get the likes up. We only need $10 more to meet our $25 live stream goal. It guarantees a live stream tomorrow, and it guarantees I'll stay on a little later tonight. Let's get it. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat.
Literally told my mom, I was like, can I go to Catholic school? She was like, no. I really just wanted to go because I like the uniforms, and I didn't want to look for something to wear every single day. But my mother was steadfast that no. Any curiosity that you have with religion, you can go and seek that out on your own. But I am not going to I'm not going to hold
My
you to,
nigga.
you know,
My
an
nigga.
indoctrination that doesn't really belong to you. You make your own choices. And so when it came to checking boxes, my mom had already decided what my daughter's life is for her to live. And I'm lucky in that way. Very, very lucky in that way. My mom gave me suggestions and she made observations, but they were always so subtle. And she always knew that I was going to do whatever I wanted to do, however I wanted to do it. And that was the end of the story. I was a
But what happened to all that stuff about society gonna make you do one thing or another, or society pressure you to be this or that? Look, your mom even said it from an early age. Melyssa gonna do what the she want to do, and that's what you've been talking about this whole time. So society didn't make you do any of this.
a very strong-willed child, strong-willed teenager, strong-willed young lady, strong-willed adult woman. So I was never subject to those checked boxes, but I found myself in conversation over the years with many, many women that felt that pressure. And when it comes to those checked boxes,
Strong-willed women usually make horrible wives. Women are supposed to be submissive, nurturing, caring, demure. You know, we don't need you to have a strong will. You need to submit to the will of your man. Shout out to John. He donated another $5. So honestly, John and James are tied for King of the Stream tonight. We only need $5 more to meet our goal, y'all. Who's gonna be that guy? Anybody but James. Who's gonna be that guy to give the last $5 to help us meet our goal, to guarantee a live stream tomorrow night? Oh, okay, so James said the shirt should be, she ain't demonic, she's Satan adjacent. And then in parentheses, it should say, watch out, fellas. Or should it just say, watch out, fellas, she ain't demonic, but she's Satan adjacent. That might have to be a shirt, y'all. That might have to be the new design. Watch out, fellas, she's not demonic, she's Satan adjacent. Oh, I mean, you're going to get a lot of flack wearing that shirt, but hey.
men that felt that pressure. And when it comes to those checked boxes, as it relates to marriage, I'm not sure if the vast majority of us go looking for these as factors in why we choose somebody. I think a lot of the times, as long as he's a good provider, that's the biggest check mark. Does he look good? Is he presentable? Do we have some things in common? Does he plan on being a good provider? Do we both want kids? Do we both want to get married?
No, it's over now. She done been through the damn ringer. She done been with 20 men, 20 relationships, good relationships, bad relationships, abusive relationships. No. This woman will not make a good partner in a relationship. Fucking period, no matter what. No matter what. Please stay single, ma'am. You will have to be a damn fool to try to get with this, especially after you see this video. She is done, cooked. Like, focus on something else, man. Just keep focusing on your career. Take care of your dogs. Relationships ain't for everybody. I'm getting that shirt made, man. Watch out, fellas. She's not demonic. She's just Satan adjacent. I gotta get that shirt. Or should it say, watch out, fellas. If she's not demonic, she's at least Satan adjacent. Oh, shout out to FOH. He says, I have a T. All it says is toxic masculine. Okay, dope. I'm getting that shirt, man. I might have to put that on the agenda for tomorrow night. All right, let's get $5 more in donations. I'm going to do a video after this video if we get $5 more. I'm going to do one more video after this if we get $5 more. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat.
These are the things that people ask themselves, and this is what helps them make their decision. But they find out years into the marriage that it takes so much more to make a marriage successful than just those things. One of the main things that I think is missing from a lot of people deciding on getting married is how much of a friendship have you built with this person? Because like outlasts love 1,000% of the time. Through the course of my career and just life in general, I have spoken to so many successfully married couples. And success means that they still...
Oh, well, what happened? Because at the beginning of this, she was talking about all the failed relationships and all the bad situations and A lot of the women that settled down early, they regretted it. What happened to that? It ain't a coincidence you're gonna talk about the good ones, at the ass last in the podcast bars.
Still like each other decades later. That's success. They still wake up and want to participate in this partnership. That is success. And that's what they say, that like is more substantial than love. And looking back on my relationships, I realized that like was not high on my list of priorities. And that's probably the reason for failures. So before I sign off, I saw something on Instagram that I wanted to read today. It says marriage is the lowest paid form of sex work. Women are owed reparations.
What? Marriage is the lowest paid form of sex work? No, wait, hold on, wait. Lowest paid to fucking take care of you for a lifetime is the lowest paid? No, the bitches in Colombia getting $40 is the lowest paid sex work. Man, these women are fucking delusional. Oh my God, we are owed reparations. A man loved you and gave you babies and is willing to take a bullet for you, but he owe you reparations? You gotta be fucking kidding me. So at least they're admitting women are fucking prostitutes. She's admitting it in this fucking thing right here. Marriage is the lowest paid form of sex work, aka all women are prostitutes. Thanks for admitting it at least.
The people we lay with are the people who are most likely to kill us, which sounds really dark, but that's the reality we're living in. The reality is women have lost their lives in pursuit of men. Women have lost their futures in pursuit of love. I think How
many men are dead or in jail over a bitch? Are we gonna talk about that? Never mind.
All need to really sit down and ask ourselves as individuals, what does love actually mean for me, and what in my life resembles that? Does the man that I've chosen resemble that love that I want and deserve? The traditional...
You had a man who was great, who loved you, and all your family members loved him. Well, what happened to that? You had what you're talking about you're looking for now. You fucking suck.
The idea of love is damaging for women because it involves us being self-sacrificial in order to prove our worth.
Yeah, that is your worth. It's serving a man. You ain't gonna pay all the bills. You ain't gonna take a bullet for me. Your worth is serving me. It's your coochie and it's serving me. Yes. Most of you aren't smart. You aren't charismatic. You aren't likable. You aren't interesting. Yes, serve me and give me coochie. You basically admitted that. Just never mind.
Men need to learn to find sustenance, entertainment, and sexual gratification outside of women because we don't owe men that. We live in a society where men assign women humanity and worth based on how attractive they are to them.
Oh, and women don't do that? Women don't see at least 85% of men as human if they ain't tall and hot and make money. Are you fucking kidding me? Women treat the men they see as beneath them like shit. And look, I'm not even gonna go on the rant.
Men need to learn to find sustenance, entertainment, and sexual gratification outside of women because we don't owe men that deserved a repeat.
And we don't owe you shit. We don't owe you money. We don't owe you attention. Like, trust me. Look, go do y'all thing then. Go live in your all-female communities and build your own fucking bridges and skyscrapers and just stay away from men and leave us alone. Right? You don't owe us shit and we don't owe you shit. So go live your life and be happy. We know that ain't gonna happen. Look at that face right there. Even the face she making with her eyes closed. Does this woman seem happy to you?
Thank you so much for joining me on this very personal episode. But what I want to leave you guys with is I want every woman listening to this to understand that you have and you should exercise all of your choices. The way that things are going, Roe v. Wade being overturned.
I was on mute. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna get off after this video go off unless we get $5 more in donations. I'm gonna hop off after this. If we get $5 more, I'll stay on a little longer and go over one more video. Let's let this dingbat finish up.
It is an act of defiance to embrace your individualism, to embrace your own identity, to embrace your wants, your hopes, your dreams, to embrace the way that you see your life going, how you see fit. It is your life to decide what happens in it. If you want to get out of bed and you want to make a million things happen in the course of the day, or if you want to be lazy and do absolutely nothing, everything is your choice. And in addition to that, There's a phrase that I heard recently that I absolutely love. And for any man listening to this, I do not say this to be offensive in any type of way. As a matter of fact, take yourself out of the equation because you're really not a part of it. And that is said with love. The phrase is decentering. Women have been conditioned to feel like men are the centerpiece of our lives, and everything else takes place on the peripheral.
Everything in your life was centered around men. And now that you can't center men no more because men ain't really checking for you like that. I mean, there's always going to be some simps, but you ain't that hot young bitch no more. Men have decentered you, so now you're talking about decenter men. I bet you ain't going to convince the young hot bitches to decenter men. It's no coincidence that either the ugly bitches or the old washed up bitches are talking about decenter men. I bet you ain't going to convince the 23-year-old super hot bitches with banging bodies to decenter men. What a coinky dink. Decenter men. You base your whole life around men. We wouldn't even know who you were if it wasn't for men sexually desiring you. You're nothing if you decenter men. Nobody gives a fuck about you if you decenter men. Even if you're a theoretical physicist, a Nobel Prize winning theoretical physicist. Nobody really gives a fuck. Outside of that little scientific community, nobody cares. Women hate being ignored by men. If men just stop paying attention to Melyssa Ford, oh my, just never mind. Decenter men is fucking hilarious. That's all y'all ever talk about. Even when you're decentering men, the whole podcast is talking about men. Just never mind.
Our careers, our friendships, our social circles, our school, everything that we do is peripheral to centering a man, finding a man claiming us, a man being our husband, a man. When in actuality, it's you. It's about you and it's about your choice. If you never end up finding the quote unquote one, guess what? There's so much more that life has to offer you that will make it okay. Love is wonderful. Finding a relationship is wonderful, but not at the expense of yourself. And that's just my little bit of lived wisdom and experience. These are the things that I've learned, and I hope that what I've shared with you today you find useful in any way, shape, or form. Maybe you don't want to be anything like me, and that's completely okay. But hopefully some of the stories that I've told you today resonated with you in some way where you felt seen, heard, understood, but at the very least, entertained. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody, on Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford. See you soon. Thank you for tuning.
Yikes. I don't even know what to say. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everybody who donated. Yeah. I hope the next time we hear from each other, or the next time you hear from me, we both better people than we are today. Be sure to go to the doctor this year. Get your checkup. Try to work out 2 times a day. Cut out the salt and sugar. Try to eat clean. Eat your veggies, boys, and your fruits. Stop drinking, stop smoking, and cut out all the negative people in your life, you dig? Link in the description for merch. Check out my merch. Join the membership. We're trying to get the membership numbers up so we can build a real community, and I can make a bunch of membership-only content. You know, other than that, RB Sensei out. Hey, James made a plea. Who got $5 more? I'll stay on. I'll stay on. Hold on. Let me see what the chat looking like. Who got $5 more for a little bit of a longer stream? I need answers. Don't believe any woman says women are owed a decent pimp hand, but no one is delivering. Facts. I'm gonna go get my pizza delivery from the door, and we'll see if a donation come in. I'll play something. I'll play this for a couple minutes. If a donation come in, I'll stay on.
Full day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
Let's actually talk about 2025 because I created my own personal list and I'm gonna share it with you.
The first one, slow maxing, okay? Taking your time, slowing down. And that means not scrolling past something because you're just like, no doom scrolling, right? Let's chill out, okay? Let's take a minute. Let's enjoy what we're doing in the moment. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Chill out. I need to slow down. You need to slow down. Next one, writing. Poetry, books, journaling, whatever you want to write. Just write with your hand, your actual hand on paper with a pen.
No, there's nowhere to go. I mean, I have to go to work. Oh, but I made a list for myself and this is what you need to do. No, can I maybe make my own list and you maybe stop telling me what to do?
Okay, I want to talk about like decentering men for 2 seconds and then I'm gonna leave this conversation, I swear. But I found the most important thing for me, like truly prioritizing myself and not prioritizing men, was being okay with being boy crazy. I've just always been a very hyper independent person. I've always cared about my career. I've always cared about my friendships more than any relationships. And I'm just like, I don't know, when guys talk to me, I'm not fucking nice to them. So I think all of these things combined, it's always made me very like, I'm not boy crazy. I'm a strong, independent woman. That was my perception of myself. But that is tricky because when you get in situations where you do like a guy and you feel vulnerable with a guy for like the first time in a while, and again, especially if you're a very independent person, that's not often, you immediately, those walls are down, those walls are broken, and you're like, oh, this is the love of my life. Great. And then when that man eventually is a piece of shit or he leaves you, I am, was absolutely thrown, right? Because I was convinced this was like the love of my life.
Yeah, that's usually how independent girls like you get played all the time. They think they're independent and that gives them a reason to be rude or disrespectful to men. And guess what type of men will ignore all that and deal with you until they get tired of you? It's not gonna be the type that will respect you, treat you right, or even take you seriously. But the question here would probably be, do the F-boys really played you or did you play yourself?
If you are single and scared, and you're 28, 38, 48, we're here to tell you, don't be.
It's okay.
It's okay. But I turn 39 in a few days.
39, turning 40 in June.
We are currently in Costa Rica and we just got done ziplining and we just had a fabulous meal. And we're here to say, like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, whether you're 30 and single, whatever it may be. Cultivate your girl friendships, work on your family relationships, focus on dating if that's really important to you, but that does not need to be the focal point of your life. And nothing is wrong with you if you're in our position.
Every single year is progressively gotten better. Better job, better at my career. I feel like we both had glow-ups. And I mean, if you looked at me when I was 30, I feel like I look so much better. I'm healthier, happier.
We didn't have anything like this when we were your age.
I was terrified.
But also unwilling to settle. Yeah. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of perspective. Feel free to drop any questions because we're about to be together for the next week. Thank God.
Well, we staying on longer thanks to a guy who's better than James Dean, James Brown, James Earl Jones, James Franco, James Cameron, LeBron, James Kevin James, James McAvoy, Jesse James, James Madison, James Harden, James Woods, James Avery, Rick James, James Bond, James Baldwin, and King James. I got this for you, James. We staying on longer tonight.
Thank you for being there, man. Charles Ray.
I run shit. You just live here.
More power to him.
You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Right on, brother. I hear you. Man, I hear you.
My man.
City boy, city boy.
My nigga.
Let's see. We'll figure it out. All right, she's back. She's ready. So we're gonna go. Let's get this show to 1K likes. Oh well, thank you, Brenda. Tell them what they need to do. All right, we're gonna go because it's already a lot of people. So guys, if you want to come and talk to Ashley, you send me an email at melimonaco1@gmail.com. and I'll send you the link, or the link is already in the description. So actually, also, if you know some people want you, you can send them the link so they can pull up for you. Um, so let's go. I'm adding Ashley right now. Hey, girl.
Hi, Mel.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Is it just me, or do the big ridiculous glasses scream narcissism? I've never met a woman with big ridiculous glasses like that who isn't a ridiculous person to match the ridiculous glasses.
I'm good. Look at this hair.
I know you like it. It's my holiday hair.
I like it. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm finally happy to have you, because I've been trying to get Ashley for a minute, but Ashley be busy. So
Oh my God.
I've been here.
I'm finally here. You have.
Yes. All right. So people are saying already, Ashley Braxton. Damn, she cute.
I'm crying. Thank you. You know I'm socially awkward.
A little bit. It's so funny because I am too, but it's like bartending. You can't really be socially awkward. Like, you got to talk to people. So it's
absolutely.
So it's weird, but
absolutely.
Yes.
We make it work.
Mm-hmm. So okay, so let's talk about you. So you are single right now.
I am currently single. I've been enjoying dating myself, actually.
Dating myself. AKA the men I'm the most attracted to won't be seen in public with me. They just call me at 3 a.m. to fuck me, and then they keep it moving. So I got to take myself out on dates, because the men I'm fucking won't take me out on dates. That's what it means when a woman says I'm dating myself.
It's been fun. It's been fun. I've been single for like 2 years now, but I'm ready to get out there. My mother keeps stressing me about more grandchildren, and I'm like, you have 3 other kids. Ask them. Why does it have to be me? But no, I'm just enjoying life right now. Enjoying life, welcoming new friends. Yeah, different experiences.
Welcoming new friends and different experiences. Different loads to the face from dudes who won't commit. That's different friends and different experiences. Now, are these portraits of her on her own wall? That's sick. That's a different level of narcissism. I hope these aren't pictures of herself. This woman is really into herself. But she can't be that fucking great because she can't keep a man.
Cool. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Nicole. You should never ask a woman her age, but I'm 31. I can't believe that, but yeah, I'm 31. Okay. Originally from DC. I'm a military brat right here in Atlanta. I love it.
Never fuck with a woman seriously who has an issue about the whole age thing. It's childish, it's pathetic, and you're an insecure loser.
Atlanta's adopted me, and yeah, that's all I have for you right now.
Okay, that's it. Okay, no problem. Okay, so since you're single, we're gonna try to find you a man. What are you looking for in your man?
I need me a it's like, no, I'm kidding. What do I look for in a man? I don't look for one. I look away. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so
she's not kidding. She's a fucking clown. A 31-year-old childish clown.
So if we could find the perfect man for you, what are the characteristics that he needs to have?
He has to have a sense of humor, for sure. I love to laugh. You have to have a sense of humor, or we're just not going to last. I'm going to be bored.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be bored because you're fucking boring. And even if he do have a sense of humor, he's not going to find these jokes you've been telling funny. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. None of this shit is funny. So if he have a good sense of humor, he won't be laughing at shit you say. And the reason you're so easily bored, because you're fucking boring.
I don't know. Welcoming to new experiences. Don't be stuck in your ways. Love God because I love God. Yeah.
No, you love yourself. The portraits in the back, you keep touching your hair, this whole attitude. You love yourself, bitch. She don't love God, let's be clear. Having all this out of wedlock sex, you don't love God. You're not serious about your love affair with God.
I don't know. And a good vibe. I go off of vibes and
She don't love God, she love Long Rod Todd. Bars.
energy. You know me. Like, if you don't talk to me, I won't talk to you. Like, if you don't give me, I'm like looking like, let me feel the vibe. But once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. So I don't know. I don't really have a type. Like, if that makes sense. There's no like specific type that I'm like, yeah, that no. I can't say that I have like an extra type. But I do not date short men. I am 5'11". I heard you all talking about it. So pineapples to all the short men. We can be friends though. But
Oh my God.
You're not interesting, you're not likable to be around. Nobody wants to be your fucking friend. Look at that picture behind her. Complete egomaniac. I don't got a type, but nothing under 6 feet. That's a type, bitch. And I bet you don't date a dude who make under a certain amount. That's a type, bitch. I bet you don't date a dude who's at least. I bet you won't date a dude who's under a 9 in looks. That's a type, bitch.
So can he be 5'11"?
I'm 5'11", Mel.
So
I'm like
can he be 5'11"?
I mean, we can work on it.
Okay.
We can work on it. We can talk about it. It depends.
Okay. What?
I hate that dumbass shit. What is that, a hookah or something? Bitches are just so basic. It's always the same dumb shit. You could not smoke hookah. She think it look cool. It don't look cool. It looks stupid as fuck. Look like you sucking on a magic marker. What a goofball.
What's the age range for you?
Okay, so I've never in life dated anyone my age or younger than me. That's never happened.
Okay, so older.
But I welcome it, you know. If it depends on his demeanor, like if he's mature and he can teach me some things, then why not, you know? But yeah, if he's immature, I like to play video games all day. I ain't about my business. Next.
Got you. So 31 and up?
We could do that.
What's the
Can y'all smell the funky ass attitude through the screen? Women like this are kind of cute, but that's it. And honestly, after they open their mouth, I don't think she all that, but I'll just say she's way less cute now that I've experienced her personality. I'd much rather chill with an ugly, cool chick than chill with this bitch. I would never chill with this bitch. I would work a second job to never have to be in the same room with this bitch.
The cutoff?
Third.
On the high.
On the high end, I'll take a good 38, 40.
40? Okay.
40 is, that sounds so old.
I agree.
I mean, like, shit, I'm like 8 years from 40, but no. Yeah, 40 is the cutoff.
She's dumb, too. She's 31, but she's 8 years from 40. Wow.
40 is the cutoff. I'm cutting it off at 40. My dad is 60 and looks like he's 38. Okay, so I'm cutting it off at 40.
40. Okay. What else? Okay, how much money does he need to make?
You know, I mean, I don't want you working at McDonald's, but I want you to be about your paper. You know what I'm saying? Like 40 is young. Okay, 40 is young. I want you to be about your paper. So I mean, it depends.
So what's the number?
It has to be. I have to have a number.
I don't know.
My nigga.
Let's ask that question.
My nigga.
Because you know
I'm not that girl that's like, oh, I want to be after a man for his money. I mean, I spoil back. So
okay.
Shout out to Johnny. Paid $5. He said, we still here. I thought you were gone. Cool. Yeah, James came through with the last 5. We needed to stay on later. You dig? And I appreciate your 5, big dog. You've been coming through heavy this episode. Appreciate you. We coming back tomorrow night thanks to James and John. Shout out to the letter J. This live stream is literally sponsored to you by the letter J. Shout out to Sesame Street. Oh, wow. What the fuck did I just do?
All right. So, do I have another one? Another question? No, that's it. I think.
Is it?
Oh no,
I'm not like I'm not that girl that's like, oh, I want to be after a man for his money. I mean, I spoil back. So
okay. 6 figures or less?
We could do 6 figures. We could do a 6-figure big baller. Okay. What's he on the Trump say? I want a big boy to pick me up. We on the same page.
Yes. All right. So, do I have another one? Another question? No, that's it. I think.
Is it?
Oh no. And do you have a preference in race?
No preference in race, but I'm going to be honest. I don't want to date a man with kids. I don't. I want to be the part. I don't. But I mean, we'll see. One.
Hey, you're making a job.
She's not as cute as she thinks she is, but see, it ain't always about how cute a bitch is. It's how cute do she think she is. She thinks she a 10. 10s and women who think they 10s make the worst girlfriends and wives. If she thinks she a 10, she's going to be a horrible girlfriend. No, because it got to be all about her, and that's not what a relationship is about.
Harder because
I know. Like,
you want somebody in their 30s with no kids, 6 figures, 6 feet.
I want a unicorn, right? I want a unicorn. I want a fucking unicorn at this point.
And then when they have all of that, they be cheating.
Well, I can fight. So what's up?
I mean, he still cheated. Okay, you fight the chick you cheated with. Okay, he still cheated. You a basic bitch. You been fucking on dudes since you was 16. Ain't none of them stick around. Ain't none of them work out. So is it them or is it you? Either way, it's you because you picking them. So you pick her off or you a toxic piece of shit. Chances are it's both. You're past the wall. You a post-wall bitch. If you could have locked down this unicorn, attracted and locked down this unicorn, you would have did it by now.
I'm gonna fight your mama. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. Well,
she's so funny. I'm gonna fight your mama. I'm kidding. That's so hilarious. I think most men would find that to be absolutely hysterical. Women tell on themselves, she ain't playing. She'll fight your mama. If your mama say anything that she don't like, she'll fight your mama. I can't figure out why this woman is single. Can y'all?
We're gonna see, because they be saying, 666 delusional.
What 666 is the devil's number? Like, let's stop.
That's what I said.
Like, what is 666?
6 feet, 6 figure, and 6. What is it?
6
I don't
feet.
know. 6 feet. Wait, I said 6 feet already.
6 feet, 6 figure. This is a new saying? 666?
No, I think they've been saying that. Maybe 6-pack. 6-pack, maybe.
Oh, okay. See, I like a rich man's belly. We could do that.
Oh,
Okay. Have a 6-pack.
Yeah, she's giving you something. You
I
don't
like
have
a husky guy. Like,
hella fit is okay. Why somebody said 6-inch dick?
Oh my God.
Women like this are pointless. I mean, they party. They get used up in their youth, but nothing comes from it long term. I mean, she's going to be a fuck doll, but I mean, nothing is ever going to grow past her being a fling or a fuck doll. And it's kind of sad because she's just a waste of a woman.
Not 6 inches. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna see.
Okay.
All right. Her name is not spelled like this, so spell it right, please.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's
Okay.
see. We're gonna try. So, okay, so I know you watch some of the shows or some of the clips. So, you know, I'm gonna bring a guy at a time.
Okay.
And you can talk to him, asking question. He's gonna ask you question. If you're not feeling it, you can, if you're just feeling like more like a friend or whatever, well, we need to move on. So you just
Okay.
say pineapple, and we go to the next guy.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna see. I have Anthony Brown.
Blowing smoke, it's just so masculine and so off-putting for a dating show. Even if it is just hookah or whatever the fuck. I don't even fully know what hookah is. Let's figure it out. The fuck is this dumb shit? A water pipe is a single or multi-stemmed instrument for heating and vaporizing the smoking of either tobacco, flavored tobacco, or often muezzle. Whatever. What the fuck is that? I mean, I guess it could be weed. It could be anything, I guess, in there. I mean, if you could put tobacco in it. Oh, yeah, or sometimes cannabis, yeah. Sometimes opium. Shit. So who knows what's in her hookah? Oh, wow. Can you smoke crack through a hookah? Like, who knows what's in her hookah? Jesus.
Anthony Brown.
Anthony.
Okay, pineapples. You didn't come to the interview prepared. Pineapples.
Seriously. I have a.
But you came on the interview being a bitch and smoking a hookah. Never mind. With your fucking arrogance and ego displayed all in the background.
Pavel. Hello.
Hi,
Hey.
Pavel.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, that's such a nice name, Pavel. What does that mean?
It actually means baby. I'm being honest here. I could have kept that away.
You're lying.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Fucking for real, okay?
Yeah.
Pavel. Let's look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. It's a Greek name.
She masculine as hell. Be fucking for real. Like, how about don't cuss at a man the first 15 seconds you meet him? But honestly, most men don't have standards. At least 85% of men in America don't have standards. They just feel blessed to be talking to a bitch who kind of cute. Like, honestly, for me, I mean, at this point in my life, if let's just say I came on here and she said, you know, something about fucking, be fucking for real, I pineapple myself.
Hey.
Okay, Greek. Where are you from?
Your name's Ashley?
It is.
Cool. It's like a cheerleader name.
A what?
A cheerleader name, a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's what you got from that?
I don't know. That's just kind of what I think when I hear Ashley. I think of cheerleader or something.
Okay.
But what's like your physically like? What's your type?
I don't really have one, to be honest.
Really?
No.
Is this coming off like inviting? Is this coming off feminine? Is this coming off intriguing in any way? Her attitude, her body language? They're just horrible, man. They're just fucking horrible.
Interesting. So you're all about personality. You seem like a really goofy person.
I am. I joke
so-
all day.
Yeah.
hmm
So I'll be like, yo, you want to fight me? What's your reaction?
If I want to fight you?
Yeah, if I'm like, yo, what's up? wanna
Yeah,
fight?
you seem like very serious.
You think I'm serious?
Yeah, you're giving off like really chill, mellow.
I mean, she's a clown. Like, yeah, she's a goofball. Like, men don't really want goofballs. I mean, a man wants a woman who smiles a lot. A man wants a woman who's maybe a little bit bubbly, but not just like a clown and a goofball. That's what category she falls in. Men want a light-hearted, smiley, slightly bubbly woman, if anything. But not a bitch who thinks she's I'm good.
Oh, in series.
Like, I'm kind of all over the place. Like, I'm a
Oh.
little nervous now because obviously this is like live, but like in like normal person, like I'm kind of.
This is the type of woman who likes to feel like she's being intimidating to a man. Well, we all know black women are bullies. Black women are the biggest bullies in America. And they love it. They really do.
All over the place. Like, I can be chill, but then I don't know where I'd be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Got you. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay, 32. Interesting.
Here's another thing I want to touch. Oh, not the hookah. This is what I want to touch on, man. This is going to be important, fellas, so clear the earwax out of your ear. These women have been talking to 10 guys at once since they were 13. These women aren't impressed with men. You know how hard it is? Like, you can't impress a bitch who's been talking to 10 dudes at once since she was 13, now she's 30. That's 17 years of fucking cycling through guys. There's nothing she hasn't seen before. She done fucked on rich dudes, had good weekends with rich dudes, had dudes trick on her. Like, women like this, they're going to keep cycling through men the rest of their lives. Her pair bonding ability was shot by 16. They're unaffected by anything you're going to say. They're never going to be impressed with you. How can I mean, even if she impressed with you for a second, which is going to be hard to do, she done had talking stages with 100 men since 13, the past 17 years. And that's probably underdoing it. She's at least had talking stages with 100 men over the past 17 years. And that's really undercutting it. What are you going to say that's really like so mind-blowing? Like, oh, this is the one. I'm going to stay with him for 50 years because he said or did this. She's seen it all, heard it all, done it all by now. Got fucked by them all by now. Nothing you're going to do is going to have her pair bond to you for a lifetime. Fucking period. That's with most of these women, bro. They done been shot out since before they got out of high school. If she cute, just assume that, bro. If she's cute, her pair bonding ability was probably ruined before she graduated. Flat the fuck out. I can't stress this enough. I really can't. Good women are snatched up before 23. Really, period, bro. Especially these days. I can't overstated enough. The dating market for men older than 23, it's a shit show, man. If she had good morals and good intentions from a young age, she's already taken, man. She's already fucking taken. Period. Good women, and I look, I'm gonna make it 25. I said 23, but this is my hard line. For the most part, 90% of the time, if she's single after 25, it's because she's not a good woman and she's not worth it. Because good women pick good men. Let me say that 10 times. Good women pick good men. Good women pick good men. Good women pick good men. So if she haven't been picking good men since 13, 14, fuck it. I'll go that young because I'm hip to the game. But let's just say 18. If she haven't been picking good men from 18 to 23, it's because she's not a good woman, and you should pass on that as far as anything serious. Good women pick good men from 18 to 23. And even if something crazy happened and she picked a good man, but it didn't work out for some crazy reason, and look, usually it's going to work out is my point. But let's just say something weird happened. He moved to a different state and she didn't want to move or something like that weird happened, even though you should move with your man. But let's just give her the benefit of the doubt. The second good guy that she pick is going to work out. Good women don't get to 3 boyfriends. Or look, I'll put it like this. Good women don't get to 4 boyfriends. They don't get to 4 sexual partners, and they don't get to 4 boyfriends. At the absolute worst, a good woman it's going to work out with one of her first 3 boyfriends because she picked good men. That's just the end of it, man. So by the time you 24, a 24-year-old man looking for women older, 24 and older, you're looking for a 10%er. And chances are you ain't going to fucking find it. And then here's the thing. Let's just say the 10%ers who are still, the 10%er good women who are still in the dating market from 25 to 30, they not going to stay long. They not going to stay long. So the ones who are still left over from after 25, look, they snatched up by 27 at the latest. So by the time you get to 28, it's over. It's over at 28, yo. That's the harsh reality of all this dating shit.
Papel, when was your last relationship?
I actually never been in a relationship. Like a serious relationship. I never been in one.
Never?
Mm-hmm.
Pineapples.
That's a fair pineapple. That's a fair reason to pineapple, motherfucker. I can't hate on that.
I don't have time. I don't have time to teach. I'm past that age. Like, I don't.
Yeah, 32 and no relationship. It might be
like
bad.
what you been doing, playing around?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say like I'm super prepared to be the best in the relationship. No, but like,
yeah.
Ooh, she just told on herself there, but I could have told you that. You a single 31-year-old woman who had to come on YouTube to find a man. You're the problem. You're a big part of the problem why your relationships didn't work out.
what we finna do?
I don't know. Hey, we'll see. Okay, we got more. I got Eddie. Eddie, you're here?
Hello?
Yeah, can we see you?
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
First off, I'm gonna start by saying I'm young. I'm 22.
Pineapples.
Guys, please at least 30. I lowered it for her. It's not 31 no more. It's 30.
22?
He said 22. Yeah.
I was 10 years old.
Already. I know, right? Okay, I got somebody else. I got Quan. Quan?
Oh yeah, this
Hi,
actually
Quan.
tight. Jose, you got jokes. Hey, Quan with the vape.
I like your eyes.
Thank you.
I ain't 22 now. I'm 33, so you don't gotta worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what you said? You said
Yeah.
something else?
I said, what y'all up to?
Wait, you're going in and out.
See, how can I put this? Like, as a man, you got to come through with purpose. You got to come through with purpose in your voice. You know, the question, what y'all up to when you... Look, they on YouTube. They doing the show. That's what they up to. I mean, I'm not knocking them, man. I'm not knocking them. If I was... Look, I'm not saying I'm a Casanova. I guess me, I'm more of a straight to the point type of dude. So I would just come through asking straight questions, like, not like an interview, but I'm not trying to beat around the bush with you, bitch. I'm not trying to beat around the bush with you. I mean, I might come through the come through the door like, what you got in your hookah? What you smoking in your hookah? Okay, I'm just checking. You smoke weed? Oh, okay. I noticed those pictures behind you. Are those pictures of yourself? Like, I'm just curious. Like, okay. You know, you a model or something? You do a lot of photo shoots? And then you could talk a little bit about yourself, you know? But yeah, you gotta come with some type of purpose in your voice. So, you know, what y'all up to? Man, you know what they up to, nigga. They on the show. See, you don't got long to make a first impression with a woman. She judging the shit out of everything you do, everything you say, every head movement. You gotta come own it.
Your sound is not the best. Not right now.
I'll come back.
Okay. Come back. Let me see what Anthony is doing. Anthony, you gonna talk or no? Anthony just want to play
Okay.
music every time
He wants to DJ. Do you need a DJ?
No. He's been kicked out. We're done with him. Let's see. I have Rod. Rod looks cute. Hi, Rod.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Hey, Ashley, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. Melly, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good, good. So, I'm jumping on here just to say, hey, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
As far as my profession?
Yeah.
I do a lot of things.
Okay.
Oh, here we go with the bullshit. That's how you know somebody a bullshit person when they say I do a lot of things. It's just not a good answer to that question. Like, you a clown, you laughing like, so what, are you a prostitute? Yeah, it don't come across good. Saying I do a lot of things and then laughing, nah.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I work in corporate America.
Okay.
That still don't answer the question. You would have been better off saying just sticking with I do a lot of things. I work in corporate America. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what does that mean? You can work at a fucking call center. That's probably considered corporate America. Well, maybe not, but you know what I mean. Ah, gosh. This dude says hookah means she's clubs a lot, like every weekend. Facts. That's what I pick up from it.
Corporate America, it's fun. It's great.
That's what's up.
Hookah means she club a lot.
Say what?
I actually work in the club as my side hustle.
I work in the club as my side hustle. Working in the club is not a side. Like, what? I'm tired of all this vague shit. What does that mean?
Oh,
I do not club a lot. I get money a lot. That's what I do.
Okay, what city
Masculine.
you live in?
It's Atlanta.
Okay, I'm
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I'm a teacher.
Okay, what grade?
High school biology.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
That's fun.
Yeah, I do that, and then I do a little bit of real estate on the side.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Where are you originally from?
Tennessee. Nashville. I lived in California for a few years and came to Georgia back in.
Can you stop smoking that fucking hookah? Like, it's just childish. It's arrogant. It's fucking condescending. It's fucking smug. I deeply dislike this woman and women like her. And she's not even the worst of black women. That's the crazy part. Like, black women are really bad. Like, she's not even in the worst. But she's like the standard. Give or take. But, black women are so fucking unlikable. So unlikable. Just even look at the difference between Ashley and Melly. It's such a huge difference. I mean, they both hoes, they both ran through and all that, but I'm just talking about the demeanor and how they come across is like night and day. It makes such a huge difference. Like, such a huge difference. I wouldn't wife Melly, but I would kick it with her for the weekend and not just to fuck. Like, I could see, like, just kicking it with her, like, just hanging out, going to see a movie, shoot some pool. Like, I would hang out with Melly. There is no chance in hell I would hang out with Ashley. I want to punch. Never mind. I could see wanting to swing on Ashley before I could see wanting to fuck Ashley. Honestly, if I'm just being brutally honest, can I be real with y'all? It's a late night Friday night. Can I just be real with y'all? Her personality inspires a swing more than it inspire some flowers. Hold on, I got bars for you. Her personality inspires her personality inspire a swing more than it inspire a ring. You dig? Bars.
What was that, like 99? I'm 38, so.
Okay.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 31.
31, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
How tall are you, Rod?
6'4".
Oh, okay, Rod.
Oh, that you got you right there, the 6'4".
Okay, 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", about 230.
Mm-hmm. When was your last relationship?
Actually, this past summer.
So what happened? I want to know.
Why you you digging into my past? You want to know?
Yeah, what happened?
We separated. It was long distance. She lived in Cali. I was here in Atlanta. That's it.
That's it.
Dissecting
Why didn't
frogs. Yeah, I am that
Why
biology
didn't you move
teacher.
there? Or why
So
didn't you move her here?
it just didn't last long enough for me to make that kind of commitment. That's all. So,
Okay.
when was your last relationship?
2 years ago.
How many?
2 years.
2 years ago. Okay.
So your breakup is fresh.
She just seemed like she ready to cuss somebody out at every word. Like, who wants to? I don't know, man. Niggas is down bad. I mean, I guess some dudes like toxic women though. They like this stupid fucking banter and all that, like attitude, and then you try to put her in her place. I ain't got time for that dumb shit. It's just a waste of brain power. I'd rather read a Dr. Seuss book than talk to this bitch.
I mean, if you want to say so, yeah. I mean, it's December now, but that's about 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a half a year ago. I mean, I'm over it.
But how?
I'm so tired of that fucking bubbling noise for a hookah. Shout out to Zachariah. Her smoking that hookah would just piss me off. Women really don't realize how unlikable they are to men. They really don't get it, y'all. They really don't fucking get it. Let's see what Kendra talking about, man. I think she live.
That me. Okay. You have any kids?
I have a baby girl.
How old's your baby girl?
2 years old.
Why are you not with the mother?
Whew. I just think it's toxic.
Why'd you have a baby by her?
Good question. We was married. We thought things was going good. I was still doing some stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, and things just went south after that.
Okay. When did you get divorced? You ready, boo?
Yes.
You have great light. I love this.
Thank you so much.
Let's do it. Now, how do I pronounce your name, baby?
My name is Manji.
Manji.
Manji. I'm a man, G. Nah, man. Nah, Manji. How do I even introduce? Hey, this is Manji. No.
Let me get you. Manji, where you calling me from?
Richmond, VA.
VA. How old are you?
45.
45.
Nah. Why you say 30 something? Nah, come on. I can see if you was off a decade. I can see if I'm 35. Oh, wait, I'm 36. I just turned 30, something like that. 30s to 40s. Oh, she used to saying 30 something, but nobody believes you, man.
What you do for a living?
Healthcare administration.
Okay. Stop moving if you can, honey.
Okay. I'm nervous.
Healthcare administration. You have any kids?
Yes, I have one 22-year-old son.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Baby mama.
And what's your zodiac sign?
Libra.
So we got Manji, VA, 45, Libra, works in healthcare administration. One son that's 22.
Yes.
What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I know people usually come on here and say like
Does it seem like her hand and head don't match? Like, does it seem like her head is way out of proportion with her hand? Or am I tripping? I might be tripping.
People usually come on here and say like they looking for a specific income bracket and a specific height. Fortunately for me, I'm just looking for someone who is kind, someone who is compassionate, Someone has a good work ethic. That's the main importance.
She's met a bunch of dudes like that since she was 19. Like, let's be clear. So something is off. They only start saying this type of shit once they way past the wall. Then they just care about character and compassion.
I am a Christian, so I would like someone who is also a Christian. I am 5'9", so let me preface this and say I am 5'9", so I would like someone who is taller than me, 5'11", 6 foot, ideally, but that's not a deal breaker.
Okay. Now, what are your deal breakers?
Drama, men who are not compassionate, men who are egotistical, just mean people in general.
Women love chasing the guys who are the most likely to be egotistical. Men who look good, men who make a lot of money, etc., etc. Elite men. Men who are elite in one of the top 5 categories. They're the most likely to be egotistical, mean.
Like, I really can't say, because I can say, oh, this is a deal breaker, but then if I meet the person, I like the person, then is it really going to be a deal breaker? You know what I mean? So I don't really want to say that I have a bunch of deal breakers. Just someone who is not empathetic, someone who's not caring, someone who doesn't take accountability. So I guess those someone.
What happened, Manji? Manji, what happened? Manji. Manji, something's going on with your Wi-Fi.
No,
Manji?
There's a call trying to come in. That's what.
Oh, it was a call. Okay, you ready? Is your phone on Do Not Disturb?
No, I didn't do that.
Maybe with us again. You think we're good?
Call back. I'm not sure. I don't even know how to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
You say you don't know?
No.
Okay, well, let's try. So what was the last question I asked you?
What are my deal breakers? I really don't have many. Just someone who's not kind and empathetic, I guess. I'm boring you, Kendra.
Say it again.
I said, am I boring you? I know.
No, you're not. I apologize. Girl, I work a lot, child.
I know.
No, you're not. You're not boring me. You're not boring me. It was not to you.
No, I want to point something out. Like, women get triggered by shit like that more than men. You know, women are really sensitive to stuff like that. I guess I'll say fellas don't get triggered by shit like that. If she yawned, I would just assume she's tired. You know, she does work a lot. But women think everything revolves around them. So if you yawn, that's about everything you do is like, oh, was it something with me? Because they can't stop thinking about themselves.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, so we did look a certain way. Does he have to do he got to make a certain amount of money?
No. He's hardworking, you know, he's able to sustain his life and have, you know, pleasure of leisure, going on trips, doing things like that.
No, motherfuckers ain't going on trips, man. Most men ain't going. Look, most men probably don't even go on 2 vacations a year. Men are just all about work, especially single men. They about their hobbies and work. Motherfuckers ain't really trying to travel. Most men, the overwhelming majority of men, ain't just trying to travel all the time like that. Especially a man who's 45, it's time to start like getting serious about saving for retirement. Motherfuckers ain't trying to blow thousands of dollars a year, spend $5,000 a year on trips. No.
You know, I'm able to sustain my life successfully single. So I don't need anyone, not looking for anyone to take care of me. So just as long as you're a hard worker and you know the importance of sustainability in life.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay. So I really don't have.
Manji, honey, I'm trying to work with your girlfriend. Manji, girl, we're going to have to figure it out. Jackie, show me the wall. Jay was here, but we had some issues. Pronounce your name for me again?
Manji.
We got Manji, VA, 45, Libra.
All right, let's break it down. Did we see the Kendra Cam? Wait, let's see the Kendra Cam first.
Healthcare administrator, son to a 22-year-old, mom to a 22-year-old son. I can't remember. Have you been married?
No.
Okay. So
What the hell do you be looking down at, Kendra? Like, are you not? You ask these people this. Are you not writing it down? Like, what? Never mind.
what was the last thing I asked you?
You wanted to do the Kendrick Cam.
We did it. Okay, so let's do the Kendrick Cam.
Okay, so I'm gonna just try to prop you up.
Okay. All right.
I mean, yeah, she's not. I mean, ridiculously overweight or nothing, but just no. Let's break it down. She's 45, single mother, never married. She's a baby mama. Face ain't nothing to speak of. Her body ain't nothing to speak of. She's just, I mean, honestly, she's below average. She's a below average woman. Look, if a dude has a job and treats her right, she hit the jackpot. Bottom line, it's that simple. But honestly, dating over at 45, she's a side piece at best. Getting somebody to take you serious at 45, there's no reason to. If he can afford his own life, there's no reason to take you serious. The only dude who gonna take her serious in a relationship is a dude who need a place to stay. For obvious reasons, that's why he's taking her serious. If he got anything going for himself, there's no reason to get serious with a 45-year-old woman. I don't care how cool she is. She cooked. She need to just be satisfied with being a side piece to a cool dude she like.
You got okay. We see you, girlfriend. Ooh, ooh. All right, we got you, baby. Manji.
Yes.
Manji, when was your last relationship?
Probably 2 years ago.
2 years ago. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Probably around my birthday, which is in October.
Okay.
Too old. Well, I guess that's your lot in life now at 45. Just stick with that. Whoever you had sex with a few months ago, just take what you can get from him and just focus on other things in life.
You don't have to answer. Oh yeah, 3 flaws you have to work on.
3 flaws I need to work on. I'm very emotional. What else? Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I can be, I guess opposite of the emotional part. I can also be erratic at sometimes, but that's just the yin and yang.
Well, yeah, erratic. Yeah. Batshit crazy. I mean, all women, look, man. That's why I say, man, women aren't worth living with. They're all batshit crazy. They're all anxious. They get controlling as they get older, more bitchy. It's just not worth it to be serious with a woman after 40. It just isn't. Kick it with her on the weekends at best. And whatever flaws you got at 45, that's pretty much you at this point. If you was going to do a 180 on any of those flaws, you would have did it before, half 100. So whatever flaws you got at 50, that's probably going to be you till you check out.
Libra. And also and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be 100 transparent. Sometimes I can become complacent, just like, oh, okay, this is good right now. I'm fine where I'm at. So I'm really looking for a man who's a leader. Someone like, no, girl, you need to do that and follow through with that. Someone to also hold me accountable, So I'm looking for a man who is a leader who, and when I say a leader,
man, you 45. Nobody want to lead a 45-year-old woman. You should be able to lead yourself at that point. And a man ain't in your life to be a cheerleader. I mean, he could look. It's just over with. Now, if you was married to a man for 25 years, yeah, but to meet some new guy who's going to be this leader, cheerleader, nah. And then you're not much of a looker, so he's not going to be inspired to do all that for you, is the harsh reality.
Leader, not aggressive. Just lead by example, lead by encouragement. So I guess those would be my 3 flaws.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Well, Kendra, I'm a baker, so okay. So I'm really nice. I'm sweet. I feel like I'm a good person.
I mean, she seemed okay, but she cooked. I mean, a baker. I mean, we could bake our own cakes at 45. Look, She just gotta take what she can get. All right, y'all. I'm out. Good night. I'll check y'all tomorrow. I'll go live tomorrow. Thanks to James. I hope I gave you your $5 more worth. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Probably around anywhere from 11 to 2. So be on the lookout. All right, I'm out.